Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pet Food Puzzle Guy, and I'm going to jump right in because there is way too much to cover, and I hope I could do this. But I wanted to cover three really popular foods. These are dog foods. I've been doing cat for quite a while, so let's jump into dog. But Blue Wilderness from Blue Buffalo is really popular. Orijen, and I just used their original chicken flavor, and then Taste of the Wild, and I grabbed one of their ancient mountain or something like that, a land-based food. So three really popular diets that have a big fan base behind them. And everybody that uses it, that loves it, would say, my dog does great on it, she loves it, her stool is great. That's well and good. All three of these diets can produce that for most animals out there. As a matter of fact, most diets can do that, okay? The question is, which one is healthier? And I thought, if I'm saying something like that, let's actually look at the definition of healthier, because that's what I'm after when I'm evaluating these foods. It amazes me what people will do evaluating foods online. All kinds of, of course, they play with the ingredient panel trying to let marketers tell them which foods are better based on the silly marketing. But there's a few people out there soaking the food in vinegar, and if it floats, it's bad. But if it sinks, it's good. I don't know. It's just absolutely insane. So anyway, let's just look at what is healthiest of these three diets. Is there one that actually does what healthy says? So the definition, let me just read it here, and I'll put it up for you. But indicative of and conducive to or promoting good health, such as a healthy, balanced diet. So that's the question, is which one of these three foods, and we'll do more, but just of these three, actually does that? Which ones promote good health? Not just produce nice shiny skin and coat and nice stool and your dog loves it, but which one actually helps keep them healthy, okay? So first diet is Blue Buffalo, and it's my favorite bag. I think it's just beautiful, and there's all kinds of wolf marketing on here. Of course, now it has more chicken, and it's a nature's evolutionary diet, and 75% of animal product. It just goes on and on. Now with more chicken and wholesome grains. So this isn't a grain-free food. It's actually promoting grains. Healthy and holistic. One of my shorts, I actually put in there that holistic, whenever you see that on a bag, please understand there is no legal definition for holistic, so pet food companies can use it all day long. It has absolutely nothing to do with the ingredients, the processing, anything. It's a word that means nothing. It's a feel-good word. If you feel good feeding a holistic diet, you'll spend more money, and that would make Blue Buffalo very happy. But holistic means nothing, okay? Just so you know. It has its meaning in other places, not on pet food though, okay? Let's go ahead, and if you go to Blue Buffalo's website, you can compare different diets, and I just happened to pick Pro Plan when I saw it pop up. I thought, well, let's compare it to Pro Plan chicken and rice. And of course, this is interesting. You have to remember this because Blue got in trouble kind of legally, and their TV commercials where I spotted it, but I see they do it here too. Look at what they say. The difference in ingredients is clear. While both products provide complete and balanced nutrition, Blue Life Protection Formula, chicken and brown rice, blah, 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 blah. The ingredients, it's made with the ingredients we prefer to feed a family member and think you will too. Really important, you got to listen to this. While both products provide complete and balanced nutrition, what is Blue Buffalo telling you? They're telling you that the product they're comparing you to themselves to is complete and balanced. It's a great diet. We just have better ingredients. It's really amazing. It's like they're admitting, yeah, we just pick ingredients that look really good, that you'd prefer, but yeah, the nutrition, yeah, they're basically the same. That other food, they may not look as good, but they're nutritionally complete too. So it was kind of funny. They got caught in a legal battle, I think, and they had to go ahead and show some truth. If both are good, then it's true. We're just picking based on what looks good. They're even admitting it here. Okay, so pretty funny. And of course, they even mention that Purina Pro Plan contains brewer's rice and poultry byproduct meal. these are ingredients you'll never find in blue foods. So right away, I know as a consumer you have no idea why a food company would use brewer's rice, because some of the better ones do. And poultry byproduct meal, oh, that sounds so terrible. If you know anything about poultry byproduct meal, it could be excellent grade organ meat, which is very nutritious, but it doesn't sound very good. So blue is taking advantage of that. Okay, so here is the ingredient panel for blue. You'll see deboned chicken is the #1 ingredient, then chicken meal, then dried chicken, then oatmeal, barley, and brown rice. So deboned chicken, I even had a technician one time at a seminar I was doing, and she said, wow, deboned chicken, that has to be really pure chicken. All the bones removed, it's the mineral level must be low, a low ash food. And I said, well, it could be, but the question is, chicken meal is the next ingredient. So how much real chicken is there? If you're somebody that knows my videos and some of the other videos out there, when you see chicken as a first ingredient, it's mostly water weight. The ingredient panel goes by weight, not by volume. It's not the most that's first, it's the heaviest. So real meat, deboned chicken, that's mostly water weight. The next ingredient, chicken meal, well, that's a powder. That's the pure protein source. That's where this diet is getting its protein from. The deboned chicken is there just to make it look good because it's the first ingredient. How do I know whether that chicken meal or that deboned chicken is high quality? I have absolutely no idea from the ingredient panel. You're going to see, if you stick with me through this, you're going to see you actually can see the difference, and you're going to be surprised to see how it compares to some of the other diets. So enough on that one. Let's keep going. Here is the guaranteed analysis that's on that bag of Blue Buffalo, and you'll see it's 34% protein. Now, if you know anything about me, I believe that high protein is not good. I would call it excessive protein, especially 34%. Totally unnecessary. It's just overtaxing the kidneys. The liver has to break everything down. You're just producing more glucose. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I know that's the popular thing these days, and these companies are going to take advantage of that. Again, I have no idea the quality of the protein. Please keep that in mind as we go through this. So 34% protein, pretty high, okay? Let's go. Remember, that's just minimums and maximums. So let's go on to Orijen. And Orijen, this is our original chicken flavor, and it's made with free-run chicken and turkey and wild-caught fish. I actually love the idea of free-run, cageless chicken, so I don't want to bash that, but nutritionally it doesn't matter much to my dog. But 85% animal ingredients, whole prey diet. So again, still pushing that natural wolf diet. 5 of the first ingredients are fresh or raw, okay? Again, for somebody that kind of knows nutrition the way I do, none of that is relevant. That's just marketing. That's just pushing that your dog is a wolf kind of thing. If you go to their ingredient panel, you'll see, just like they said, man, there's animal product everywhere. Chicken, turkey, salmon, whole herring, chicken liver. Then there's dehydrated chicken and dehydrated turkey, which really, now that dehydrated means the water's taken out. So I'm gonna bet that the real protein from the chicken and turkey is coming from those 2 ingredients, but the water weight of the chicken and the turkey moved it to the front of the ingredient panel where it looks much more appealing to the consumer that's paying, close to $100 for these bags of food these days. So again, a little bit of manipulation there with the ingredient panel. I know nothing of the quality of the food by this ingredient panel, just that they're really into animal protein and animal products, right? They have their own comparison on their website, and they actually compared themselves to Blue Buffalo, who we just looked at. And you can see here, they look at the first 5 ingredients, and they show how Blue Buffalo is different. It's kind of interesting, and I won't fault anybody because things change, but their description of Blue Wilderness chicken recipe actually is a little inaccurate. But you know what? I really don't care about the first 5 ingredients. I don't care how many are animal sourced. As a matter of fact, on the bottom of this, what does it say? That the number of animal ingredients in Orijen is 16, and in Blue Buffalo it's only 5. So that's why I should buy Orijen instead of Blue Buffalo. It's just We have not discussed nutrition at all yet with these foods, but that's what the consumer, you guys are looking at. And let's look at the guaranteed analysis. And again, this is Orijen, 38% protein. So we went from 34% up to 38%. So what does that tell me? Oh, well, then Orijen must be delivering more protein to my dog than Blue Buffalo. Maybe, we'll see. Again, guaranteed analysis, go and watch my video on the guaranteed analysis. And what it doesn't tell you, it's nothing but minimums and maximums. It doesn't really tell you very much at all. Okay, we go on to Taste of the Wild. This is the one with the bag that shows the poor bighorn sheep parents with their little lamb, and there's the wolves in the background ready to have a meal. So it's not a very pleasant bag, but it's Ancient Mountain, they call it. And again, this one has ancient grains. So this one's not grain-free either, but of course ancient grains are better than other grains because they sound better and they're more glamorous. As far as nutritionally, if you look in the real textbooks on these ingredients, there's really no difference, but it's more appealing, okay? We go on and look at the ingredient panel. If the last food was into animal product, this one is into lamb. So here's Taste of the Wild. Lamb is the first ingredient. Now remember, that's mostly water weight. Next ingredient is lamb meal. That is the dried form of lamb. That's where all the protein is. That's fine. But again, I have no idea the quality of those protein sources. Then there's a bunch of other things there. Grain, there's egg product. That's great. Then there's roasted lamb. So just lamb, lamb, lamb. Lots of lamb in this food. The interesting thing, I've never seen this before. Look at the bottom. I hope I can fit this on the page. At the bottom it says, the facility in which this food is made also makes food that may contain other ingredients. Now, I've always said when we look at single protein source diets, if you're not dealing with a veterinary company, Hills, Royal Canin, or Purina, those facilities know they have to clean, like deep clean. There can't be any trace elements of chicken or beef or whatever when they make a hydrolyzed diet or a venison diet, whatever. It's kind of interesting, this food company, who is this again? This is Taste of the Wild. They're actually admitting that there's contamination when food is made. If you're not a veterinary company, you're not going to take those extra steps. They're actually putting it on their ingredient panel. So I'm kind of impressed with that. So just thought I'd throw it out there. Here's the guaranteed analysis. And if we look at this, what do we see? It's only 25% protein. Remember, we looked at Blue Buffalo was 34%. Orijen was 38. This one's only 25. So some of you, ooh, this isn't a very high protein diet, okay? Let's see what else is next. Okay, so let's go back to what I had said. What is healthy? It's indicative of, it's conducive to promoting good health, okay? How do these diets do in that area? Now let's get to nutrition instead of all the marketing that you look at when you're trying to judge a food. Here is the numbers here. Lots of numbers. Here's Orijen, Blue, and Taste of the Wild. The protein is in grams per 100 kcal, okay? This is the way nutritionists would evaluate a food. And what do we find? Over 9 grams in Orijen, over 9 grams in Blue, almost identical actually. And then Taste of the Wild is only 7 grams. Now, again, for me, somebody, the way I've been trained, I like 7 grams better because they don't need 9.6 grams of protein. The studies just show that's not necessary and there's no reason to do it. So I kind of like Taste of the Wild with 7 grams. But remember, I kind of said, and you've seen it if you watch any of my other videos, that the protein source is where you're going to find the mineral content. If it's a high quality, pure meat source, whether it's real meat or meal, it's going to be lower in minerals because that junk isn't in it. If it's high in minerals, I don't care what the word says, I don't care how appealing it sounds, it's low quality. And the calcium and phosphorus numbers reveal that. They can't hide behind those numbers, okay, unless they want to lie about the numbers and change the numbers. So let's looking at the protein, look at the calcium and phosphorus. In other words, the minerals found in those meat sources. What do we find? Orijen, the calcium is 305, The phosphorus is 254. Now this is milligrams per 100 kcals. This is the way nutritionists looks at a food. None of that other stuff that we've just been going over, wasting time with. They don't look at that. They look at this. Blue Buffalo comes in at 480 milligrams of calcium, 320 of phosphorus. Taste of the Wild, 410 milligrams of calcium, 300 of phosphorus. So what does this tell you? You've probably never seen anything like this, as far as comparing. What I see here is Orijen and Blue Buffalo basically have the same protein amount, okay? But what's the difference? The Orijen, their mineral content is much lower than Blue Buffalo, okay? So what that tells me, and remember we looked at 34% protein in Blue Buffalo, 38% in Orijen. Those percentages meant nothing, because look, they end up being the same amount of protein. That's why that guaranteed analysis and percentages is not telling you what you think it's telling you. You would have guessed, oh, 38% protein, I'm getting much more protein with Orijen than I am with Blue. The fact is you're getting almost identical, but look at the mineral content. Orijen wins big time in my book, because when I look at it, to give the same amount of protein but have less minerals, they're spending their money on better meat sources, better protein sources. It's right there. You can't hide behind that. Sodium level 94 versus 110. That's basically the same. I'm not too worried about that. Move over to Taste of the Wild. Again, I love that the protein level is lower. That's good. But what do we find? Look at the mineral content. Here's a food that's lower in protein, but the mineral content, not as high as Blue, but much higher than Orijen, where it's 9% protein. Okay, so again, Orijen looks pretty good as far as looking at they're providing protein and lower minerals. So that tells me two things. They're spending their money on better ingredients, and it's healthier for my dog's kidneys. Now again, I don't like the 9% protein, or 9 grams of protein, but I'll take that to keep that phosphorus level low. I love Taste of the Wild at only 7 grams of protein, but at 7 grams of protein, that mineral content should be coming down, and it's not. It's 410 and 300 for phosphorus. That's telling you that something's driving those numbers up. It's the ingredients that are in, or impurities that are in the ingredients. Does that make sense? And again, the sodium in Taste of the Wild is 90 milligrams. So bottom line, if I just look at that as I'm going here right now, Orijen wins for me. Why? Because again, I don't like that protein level high, but it's pretty pure protein that's protecting those kidneys, keeping that phosphorus level low, or lower. If you were in vet school, you would learn when you look at kidney disease and kidney functional, phosphorus is much more of an important element than the total protein, especially if the protein is good. So Orijen wins in that department. Sorry, that's just the numbers show it. Okay, are you still with me? I know I'm going fast here, okay? This is the stuff I love, though. This is what, for 34 years, this is how I would compare all the different diets out there to see which ones are actually good. Had nothing to do with the guaranteed analysis, had nothing to do with the ingredient panel, had nothing to do with the silly marketing on the front of the bag. It was all show me the nutrients. That's what's going to affect your dog's or cat's health more than any of that other stuff, okay? So let's go back to the definition of healthier, right? I will tell you, personally, I would never feed any of these 3 foods, okay? Orijen wins as far as looking at what we were looking at. I see they're using better quality ingredients. They're keeping mineral levels down. That's really good. Now, why? I guess I assume a lot here that you guys know why we do that. Keeping minerals down can affect urinary stones, it can affect hypertension, it can affect kidney disease. There's just a lot of reasons. Kind of think about it, I'm 63 years old. I have to watch my sodium. I have to watch a lot of things that I didn't have to when I was in my 20s. Same thing with dogs, only it's a much shorter time period. When they're 1, 2, 3 years of age, they could be on the worst food in the world with all excessive levels. It's probably not going to bother them. Once they hit 6 or 7, now it really matters. And if I had been on a horrible diet my entire life, I'd probably be paying for it now. Same is true with your dog. If they're on an imbalanced, excessive mineral diet all their lives, then you find out they're one of the ones that's going to have kidney disease or urinary stones wow, you just worsen that whole condition all those years when you could have helped prevent it. Again, going back to what's healthier, what actually promotes good health. To me, promoting good health is reducing the risk of disease, okay? That's what controlling minerals and controlling protein, that's what that does. More is not better. Just because I get more protein or more meat or more this or more that, no, excessive levels are just harming your pet. They're just making it harder for them to stay healthy, okay? Why would I not feed any three of these foods? This is why. On the bag, look at the nutritional statement, okay? So real quick, when we look at the not guarantee analysis, when we look at the AFCO statement for Blue Buffalo, it says Blue Wilderness, nature's evolutionary diet with chicken, is formulated to meet the nutritional levels established by AFCO dog food nutrient profiles for maintenance. Okay, now this is a legal statement. You can't be deficient when you make this statement as a food company. So here's Blue Buffalo saying that first it was formulated. Now you've probably heard this from other places if you're a food freak like me or a nutrition nut. Formulated means they never actually did feeding trials or tested the food. They just kind of put the recipe together in a computer, shipped it out to a plant, and they made it. Not saying that's a terrible thing, but it's a much lower standard than years ago. Any food that was ever sent out to be fed by you and me as consumers, it was first tested on dogs through AFCO protocols. Those days are kind of gone now. So when you see formulated, it just means it was never really tested on real animals, okay? But this is saying it's just for maintenance. In other words, don't feed this to a puppy. It's for maintaining an adult dog. Keep that in mind, okay? Let's go to the nutritional statement on, here's Taste of the Wild, okay? What does it say? Taste of the Wild, ancient mountain canine recipe with roasted lamb is formulated, so there you go, no feeding trials, to meet the nutritional levels established by AFCO dog food nutrient profiles for all life stages, including growth of large-sized dogs, 70 pounds or more as an adult. Okay, so key phrase in there I want you to see, it meets the nutrient profiles for all life stages. All means all, so they can't be deficient. If they were deficient, they could be sued and shut down. Government will protect us from deficiencies. They don't care about excesses. So when you see all life stages, and it means all, what does that mean? Here they're actually telling you, including growth. So in other words, the nutrient levels in that food, in this Taste of the Wild, are high enough to grow a large breed puppy, okay? I want you to, Dr. Ray, she has a channel, she's awesome. I should put her channel up here because she will tell all this stuff probably better than I do, and she does it much nicer in a shorter amount of time than I do. But just picture Bernese Mountain Dog puppy, 8 weeks old, weaned on dry food now, and he's this big. And in a year, he's what? You know, we've had a few of them. My son has one right now. Atlas is, I think, 110, 120 pounds. They grow a lot in that year. Think of the nutrition it takes to go from this to this. That's what you're feeding your 4 or 5 year old dog when you feed this diet, because they're telling you the nutrient levels in this diet are high enough to grow that puppy. I'm sorry, I don't think you're going to find, you will obviously find some nutritionists out there that don't have a problem with that. That's not optimal nutrition. That's not life stage nutrition. That is throwing nutrition out the window and just saying, here's one diet that fits all, feed this, okay? So when you see all life stage, immediately for me and most people in the industry, okay, I don't want that food. Let's go on to the next one, because it's basically puppy food. It doesn't say puppy, it's saying all life stages, and now they're actually including the growth of large breed dogs. Okay, so you see how it's not optimal nutrition. It's not healthiest trying to prevent disease when I'm feeding excess levels of everything from fat to sodium to protein to phosphorus to calcium for that growing puppy. I don't want to be giving that to my dog. It makes absolutely no sense. Let's go on to the next one. Orijen. Orijen original dog food is formulated, again, no feeding trials, to meet the nutritional levels established by AFCO food nutrient profiles for all life stages. There you go. There's another one, including growth of large-sized dogs. So what are they telling you? Yes, the nutrient levels in this food are excessive. Do you want to feed that to your dog? There are 2,500 brands of dog food in the United States. Why would you choose this one when they're basically telling you that they're excessive with nutrients that your adult dog, or worse yet, older dog, really shouldn't be getting, based on the best top board certified veterinary nutritionists in the country, or in the world for that matter. Okay, that's why I would not feed any of these three. The weird thing is, let's go back to the numbers again. Okay, this is interesting. Orijen said for all life stages. Blue said for maintenance. Taste the Wild said for all life stages. Look at the nutrient levels. When Blue Buffalo decided to say it was made for maintenance, they chose maintenance. They could have, based on these nutrient levels, clearly they could have said all life stage, but they chose to go with maintenance. So again, if you're somewhat lazy and just, and I say this all the time, and I know Dr. Ray, a lot of people do, I just look if it says for maintenance, at least that food is in the running. I'll check it out. But if it says all life stage, I'm not going to look at it. Here's Blue Buffalo getting away with saying, oh, it's maintenance. But when I look at the numbers, and you can look at, there they are, it's actually higher than the other foods that are admitting they're all life stage foods. You see what I'm saying? So they're all excessive. All three of these, in my perception of nutrition, delivering optimal nutrients for my dog or my cat to reduce the risk of disease. In cats, it's even worse. Cats, you have to worry about stones and kidney disease, even much worse than in dogs. So those nutrients matter. But food companies now, they know, the marketers know, you're not looking at this stuff. I probably lost most of you by now. No one's looking at these numbers anymore. It's just probably me and my dog here and my camera. But this is nutrition. This is what's going to either keep your pet healthy, to live longer and reduce the risk of disease. It's not how many ingredients are animal-based and what ingredient is first, or is there plant-based protein in there, or is the chickens happy that went into that food? None of that matters, okay? Show me the nutrients. Remember, show me the money, show me the nutrients, okay? That's what's going to make the difference. Okay, so those of you that stuck with me through that that whole thing, I'm sure you never looked at those diets the way we just did. So there was Blue Buffalo, Orijen, and Taste of the Wild, and of those three, I was kind of surprised that Orijen won. Anyway, I'm gonna do another one of these. I got all the data. I just need to put the video together. Maybe I'll do it tonight. But with Ollie, Nom Nom, and Farmer's Dog, I get ads for them all the time. I called them. I think all three of them were very cooperative, which again was very impressive. But how well do they stack up with the definition of healthier? So we'll take a look at that. So thanks for, I hope there's some comments on this. I appreciate when you guys comment, whether good or bad, whatever. And thanks for your time.